What's going on, y'all? So listen. Oh, I hold my throat. Okay, yeah, it's okay. If it get a little bit raspy, y'all, I've just been going through the hell of all hells for the past couple of days or so. As I said in my other video, if my voice just sounds out of whack or if it go in and out, baby, it's this acid reflux. I'm on medication for it. The shit been acting up. I don't know what I did to trigger it, but bitch, it's just fucked up. And now, it's trying to get back on track because I feel a little bit better today. But yesterday, Jesus Christ, I thought I was going to die. I haven't even eaten anything today because I'm sorry about that. That's my mom. I haven't even eaten anything today because, bitch, I was scared to put something in my stomach because I thought that shit was just going to come back up. The woes I go through. But anyway, bitch, I be alright. Let's get into this episode. Married to fucking Madison, okay? Married to Madison was cute this week, and once again, I found myself. See, this is how it is. You cannot like a person because they do fuck shit, but when they make a good point or when they point out something that you like, yeah, bitch, I see what you're talking about. You can get in their props. I don't feel nothing wrong with giving a person their props and all that shit. With that being said, Mariah, I was actually kind of here for Mariah when they was on this boat trip. And Quiet opened up the floor when she said, just because somebody, tell you about yourself or whatever, that means you don't have to get so upset or take it in jest or whatever. And they was like, well, girl, you the one that gets sensitive and everything when people say stuff to you, so they don't go as hard on you as they do on her. Now, whether that is 100% true, we have seen throughout the season where, they do side with Quiet, and even Simone jumped up and said, yeah, we do this and we do that for you because of your sensitivity. You're the youngest and all this shit. And because she's so fucking overly dramatic. Quiet didn't want to hear the truth and or their truth, and of course proved them right when they said that she's overly fucking dramatic because she just she just kept going and kept going, and it wasn't really. People have to learn and take your own advice. She just said when somebody tell you something about yourself, don't take it as an attack. They were not trying to attack her. Yeah, it sounded heated. It only sounded heated because she raised her voice. And so, therefore, Simone is trying to talk and get her point across. So, therefore, you got two loud people going at each other. But I do not feel like they were trying to attack that girl. I don't even feel like Mariah was trying to attack the girl, even though she brought the shit up. She was just trying to make a fucking point of the double standards that's probably going on. I don't know because, I'm not within that group, but maybe they know more than what was being shown. So, I understood where everything was coming from. And I understand being defensive sometimes. Sometimes you probably used to being in a situation where you always feeling like you attacked. So therefore, even when you're not being attacked, you just go off the handle and shit like that. And like I said, Quad is a fucking drama queen. Um, Her husband tried to get up in it, and Damon was like, nah, bro, just let them argue this shit out. And at one point, Damon said, bitch, can we just go ahead and get in the water? We want to get some turtles and all this shit. The guys then went to go swimming. They still playing around with this shit. Okay, but eventually, they cooled it down, and they was able to move on for the most part. Like, I don't like when I mean, that's what we look at the trips for. One day we're going to get a trip where everybody's going to come and it's just going to be smooth sailing. And that'll happen probably in the last season, like the last fucking season. Because, every time they go on a trip, it brings out their problems. And on Married to Medicine, what I can appreciate about the trips is most of these trips, especially like the couples trip, is used to bring out the problem so that y'all can fix that shit and then, try to move forward. So with all that, they get ready. I'm just gonna fast forward to this whole thing with the questions and the couples therapy. And this is what Simone had her thing going. This is why they did the couples trip. And I like this aspect of the trip because, yeah, we're here to have fun. We're here to bond. We're here to reconnect with one another, with our spouses and stuff. And part of that reconnecting is, talking out the shit that's going on and maybe getting some opinions from our friends because they probably can tell us what, they see happening, because sometimes you can get a lot of advice or whatever from somebody from the outside who's looking in, and they can see, and we can, be like, well, damn, I didn't notice that, but you know what, now that you brought that point up, I see where you coming from. So I like that aspect of it, you know um being vulnerable. Okay, if you can't be vulnerable amongst your friends, your good friends or whatever, like, what's the point? Heavenly girl, she wanted to ask certain questions. And let me just say this from the offset. I do not feel like, do I feel like Heavenly was being messy? Not necessarily, but I can see how it can come off as her being messy because of the questions that she wanted to ask. And like she said, she's asking the questions, or like somebody, was it Dr. Jackie? She asking the questions that basically the public wants to know. The same shit that we've been saying in these reviews, in the comments, on Twitter, on the Facebooks, or wherever they be posting the social media, we asking the same question that Heavenly literally just asked in this episode. And they couldn't take it because they felt as though she was doing it the wrong way. And I get where they're coming from, and I get where Dr. Heavenly coming from. Because truth be told, I don't want nobody to get up here. We doing couples therapy, right? Let's fucking do this shit, and let's do it. Let's be fucking honest with each other, okay? This is what's going on. This is how I feel. Quit sugarcoating shit, okay? We trying to get our problems out. We taking this moment to do that, even though we don't have a licensed counselor, psychiatrist on board, because Dr. Greg, he's not on board right now. But let's be real with ourselves, and let's get the issues out. Okay, you can't just keep covering shit up, and trying to make it seem like everything is all to the good. But with Dr. Heavenly, it's her approach to things, and she just so fucking blunt with it. And I guess with them, they need to, just be like let it slide in there kind of gradually. She just went straight forward to it. And that's why it comes off with her being messy, or comes off with her trying to be nosy, or trying to start stuff and everything. And I truly don't feel like that was her intention, but it's Dr. Heavenly and her tone and her candor. So, of course, I can understand how they can get offended the way that they did. But the questions that she was asking, I wanted to know the fucking answers to them shits too. I said, come on, if you're gonna be in this therapy shit, whatever y'all want to call it, let's be fucking real with one another. They did Curtis and Jackie first. Curtis, what was it? She was like, Jackie, when I ask the questions, I want y'all to ask them to your spouse. And I do like the idea, and having the spouses, the couples sit facing each other, because this is y'all time. And she was like, Jackie asked Curtis, why what was it about the girl that she did that I didn't do? What did she give you that I didn't do or give you in the marriage? And he refused to answer that question. See, he didn't get upset at the question. Now, let me tell you something. Jackie and Curtis handled that. Regardless of how I feel, them bitches still together. Regardless of how I feel about them being together, or regardless of how I feel about Curtis and his fuck shit, he probably took a little bit of offense to that question. He probably took a little bit of offense to the question, but see, he didn't allow that to get to him, so to a point where he's gonna blow up. First of fucking all, bitch, you a fucking guest on this goddamn trip, because you weren't supposed to be there, so how dare you blow up if you wanted to? But he handled it well. He said, you know what, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna say what it is that she did for me that you didn't do, but he kind of skirted across the question, but he brought it back home in a certain way where they was able to say, I know my faults, and I know I need to do this, and I know I need to do that. And I was like, okay, bitch, you saved yourself for a little bit, even though you avoided the questions, but you didn't get pissed off. You didn't blow up. You didn't get heated. But then when they asked Dr. Jackie, Curtis' question to Dr. Jackie is, why is it that you don't show that you care for me or whatever? And see, Dr. Jackie was like, well, bitch, I want the world to know that I do. People think that I don't have emotions. I do have emotions, okay? It's just that I handle things differently. And I understood so much of what she was saying, because I am the same fucking way. You can sit here and get upset over something, and I know you probably thinking like, damn, bitch, you should be upset too. I'm upset, but I'm not going to show it like the way you show it. I can just sit here, be calm, cool, and collected, but inside I am steaming, okay? It's just I don't like to show my feelings out there in front of a lot of people. Hell, I barely like to show it in front of my family. So I keep that shit inside. I got where Dr. Jackie was coming from. And she understood that she probably needs to work on this and probably needs to work on that. And she was just trying to get to the point that she is a human being. She do have these feelings. And then, maybe like Contessa said, because she was crying and it just broke me fucking down. When I'm dead ass serious. I love Dr. Jackie. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Y'all can say that bitch is an ice queen. She condescending. She this, she that. I like her, okay, because she's the less of the drama that goes on this show, and we need that. Meaning that she's less messy. She messy, but she ain't so fucking messy. Everybody on the show messy, okay. When they got through, and she was sitting there with Curtis and they hugged and she just was crying. You can just hear, bitch, you got them feelings coming out when that back is going because you crying so hard. Bitch, that shit just broke me. And it wasn't Curtis, it was Dr. Jackie, seeing her in this state, after all the shit that she going through. I know I say shit about I couldn't be back with that nigga because of the shit, like after publicly humiliating me and all that shit. But you never know what you would do when you're in that situation. We got to put that shit out there. So, but I know for fucking sure I would do it, bitch. But if that's what she want to do, that's what she want to do. I'm not going to judge no fucking more. I'm not going to look at her no different. I'm still going to look at him like any fucking way. But, like Contessa said in that confessional, bitch, first of fucking all, Contessa, take that wig, burn it, okay? Because it's not fitting for you. And your husband was looking at you the whole time like, fuck ass wig, when she was in that confessional. But like she said, you didn't marry an ice queen. Something happened along the way. Y'all been married so long that something happened along the way that closed her off and made her that way. I said, bitch, I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, that's a possibility. We get that one out the way. The next couple that they pull up there is Eugene and Toya. These two just go off the rail. And I'm like, wait, what's the problem? Because you see how the questions are going and how deep they going with Jackie and Curtis. So why didn't you expect that? And it's fucking Dr. Goddamn Heavenly. Y'all know the bitch don't sugarcoat shit. You should have expected some hardcore questions coming your way. So it was like Eugene asked Toya, why you disrespect me in public? Why you like disrespecting me and all this shit? And he was like, wait a minute, I'm not gonna ask that when I don't feel that, because asking that is meaning that I feel that. And it's like, I don't never disrespect my husband in public. What are you talking about? To be quite honest, Toya, let me just say this, and to anybody that wanna come to their defense, no girl, you always talking about, I don't care if y'all funny with it, if y'all cool with it or whatever. Us, the public, looking at it, and a person like me, you keep on talking about how your husband don't want to fuck you, how he always masturbating, and you just, in this whole season, that's all we kept on hearing, and you just kept on telling to each and every fucking body, and it's like, why do you need to do that? Why? Like, keep that to yourself. That to me is a form of disrespect, because that shouldn't be put out there as if it's a, don't nobody need to know that. I would feel disrespected that you feel the need to keep on telling our business like that. Then, the other question was posed for Dr. Eugene to ask, Toya, is it just you really there for the money or some shit like that? Well, I mean, that probably was a reach, but well, and of course Toya offended at that. And I'm like, I get why you get, because it's personal. It's real hard and personal. So of course, you're gonna have your defense up, and that's your natural defense. That's your natural nature to get defensive at stuff that's hard. But that was a real ass question, if you ask me. A little invasive, but it was a real ass question that a lot of people have been asking. Like, bitch, you letting this man struggle and doing all this work, but yet you ain't doing shit but taking care of the kids. Okay, and the little motherfuckers in school, go get you a little part-time job to take the stress off of him so he can still be there for you long enough to fuck you. You know what I'm saying? But hey, they getting their feelings about that. And of course, they go at Dr. Heavenly talking about you's a rude bitch, you this, you that. And at that point, Dr. Jackie had to go over there console Toya. And this is where Mariah was coming over there and was like, it's okay. First of all, let me just tell you, it's okay for you to want to fight for your marriage. She been in the same position. I was like, uh-oh, so what happened? Toya was like, wait a minute, with Aiden? I was like, yeah. Aiden had cheated on her, and they had some problems with infidelity in their relationship. And it was a real ass moment. I couldn't even fucking hate on it. It was a real ass moment, and I honestly do appreciate her putting that out there. And trying to, this is her way of trying to connect with the girls again and being, back in the scene and kind of somewhat being genuine. I felt that was a genuine moment between Mariah and them. And Mariah and Jackie had their issues already, so that was a genuine moment if you ask me. And so Dr. Jackie appreciated it because she said it in her confession, like it meant the world to her for her to open up like that. And Mariah told Aiden that she told him what was up, and he was like, okay, cool. And so the next fucking couple was Simone and Cecil. They are the ones who have the most drama right about now because they're getting divorced. And the issues is just so prominent and shit. The question to him was, why did you feel like it was okay to take the money out of our account? And at first, I didn't think that they was gonna ask it, but they did. And he was like, basically, it was wrong. I already said it was wrong. It was this, it was that. He was answering the question, but he was getting hostile with it at the same time, like he was getting annoyed. And it was like, bitch, let me tell you something. Ain't no different from when you went and got that Maserati. You took that money out of our account and you went on ahead and got that Maserati without talking to me. And I said, shit, I forgot all about that. And that Maserati probably cost more than $25,000 too. I was like, y'all making bank over that shit. Y'all savings account look bomb as fuck. So you say. But anyway, Simone was like, so what we doing? See, there you go. Simone was like, what you doing? So what we doing is tit for tat type of shit. And it was like, no, it was not tit for tat. It's not this. I said I was wrong. I said I was wrong. Listen, everybody. I said I was wrong. I'm tired of talking about this shit. Bitch, they was just going off. He was going to fuck off so bad. And I was just sitting here like, oh my God, are they about to fight right here? Like, physically? Like, Cecil was getting riled up. We ain't never seen Cecil raise his voice this loud. We've seen it early in the season, but this took the cake. And I was just sitting here like, And Simone was getting loud, trying to calm him down. And eventually they do come back, and he was just trying to say, I apologize for getting upset like that. It's just that it's not you. It was just, he was boiling the whole time already. So it just spilled over. And of course, they tried to get on heavily for asking these questions. And, you're supposed to be solving shit, but you're not really solving shit. And I'm going to get on that in a minute. They get to Quiet and Dr. G. And they was asking, Quiet was supposed to ask, why don't you show me appreciation? And he was like, it's not that I don't appreciate you. It's some other things that go on. It's like you don't acknowledge her whole thing. And his whole thing is she don't acknowledge the fact that he helped her out and he do for her and stuff like that. And then once again, here come Quad bringing up talking about something when she said, "Why don't you do the masculine shit?" Now, see, I would have been offended at that shit too. Dr. G had every right to go off because, bitch, let's just take it there for a minute. You keep on bringing up this shit with the trash, and you don't take out the trash. You don't do this. We ain't in the 1950s, okay? This ain't a sign by gender that you supposed to take out the trash. Bitch, what's wrong with you taking out the trash too? If the man is tired, he's been working all day, he come home, okay, he forgot to take out the trash. Bitch, you been there probably longer than he has. You let it get to a point where it's overflowing. Why you couldn't take out the trash? Sometimes you have to compromise and you have to fill out the situation. And that's what you do up in a marriage. But like later on, when the men were together on the beach and they was talking, and he brought up the trash issue again, like they said, bitch, you a fucking psychiatrist. You should know that it's not literally just about the trash. It's something deeper. Like Doc Eugene said, for a man, if I say something and it's about the trash, it's literally about the trash. But for a woman, it got to be deeper than that, which is true. She got a lot of issues that's going on. I don't know if she really trying to put it out there because she's not like putting it out there like clearly enough for him to get. And it was like, you a psychiatrist, you can't get it, you don't understand it, it don't make no sense. But they get into it, and he had to, they blew up at each other. And then Dr. G was trying to be like, I get what you're trying to do heavily with this session or whatever. We trying to open up the can of worms. We trying to make these are the questions that make us uncomfortable and that we need to get, because these are the issues that are really going on. So at least he understood where the questionings were coming from and why they were there, unlike some of the other ones. But you're trying to open up this can of worms, but we need to learn how to put a lid. If you're gonna open up the can, find something that's going to put a lid over it, meaning that's going to fix it and smooth it out. And see, that's what Heavenly had fault said, because she don't know how to. You're a relationship expert, I get that, but you're not a psychiatrist, you're not a therapist, you're nothing of that sort. So you presenting these questions, but how are you controlling the session? You're not doing a follow-up. You're not trying to offer a solution. You're not backing it up or whatever. You just throwing it out there and just letting them go at it as if that's supposed to solve it. You're not interjecting and saying, so what we should do with this and what you need to do with that. What do you hear him saying? What do you hear her saying? What is going on? She didn't know how to do that, and that's why the shit failed. That's why it was fucking horrible. And I like the fact that Dr. Damon, who gets her ass together, said, she said she's a relationship expert. She tried to talk, and he said, no, let me speak. Sometimes you gotta admit that you do stuff wrong. If she made a mistake, I want you guys to forgive. And if I ever offended anybody here, please just, know that I apologize. I thought the nigga was about to cry. And at this point, that right there smoothed everything over and it broke the ice and everybody calmed down and they was like, well shit, bitch. The lid was right there. That was Dr. Damon. Everybody was like, Dr. Damon was the one that solved the thing. I get where Heavenly was coming from. And I know and I kind of understand what she was trying to do, but she didn't execute it well. And she wasn't the right person to do this. She really wasn't. Okay. I would have asked the same questions, but it's just a certain way that if you're going to ask the question, you have to have a follow up. You have to have, be able to talk it out. And that's not what she was doing. She's not a fucking licensed therapist, so quit trying to play one. That little scene with Toya and them going to fucking Rihanna's house. I said, first of all, I was surprised that Quad, Toya, and Mariah, mostly Mariah and Quad was in the goddamn same car with each other. But they did that. They had a little fun. It was a little kiki. Took picture or whatever where supposed Rihanna's childhood home, and everybody got over their little issue for the most part. And I'm fast forwarding to see if I missed some shit that's important. And I like that fact when the men were sitting there talking and was like, yeah, Heavenly, she do a lot of fucked up shit. She say some shit, and I like the fact that Damon put out there, because I didn't agree with the fact that Heavenly was like, all the couples gonna do the stuff, but we not, because we good. And Damon had to say, no, we got a whole bunch of deep shit going on. We ain't always good, just like everybody want to think. I said thank you for putting that out, because ain't nobody perfect. And like he was sitting there talking to his people, to the boys, and was like, I put up with the bitch. She do some shit, and you go all this time with her doing some stuff that irritate the hell out of me. But then she pop up and she go to my she surprised me with finding out where my father was buried at, and that touched him, So that's basically what it was about. They go to their last dinner, and everything was cool. They was having a good time for the most part. And they wind it down, and then it started raining, and that was the end of the episode. It was okay. I liked it. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. And I just see everybody's side on this. I really do. So I'm not really picking a side. But y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.